Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing today? So excited to be on with you guys today. It's Technical Tuesday with Coach Chadwin. I'm going to cover a couple of charts today. Exciting day in the markets. We had some news today. It moved the market around. I'm sure you guys saw that. But let me know if you are live with me in the chat. I see we've got 13 people on right now. Welcome, Connect Trade and Grow Group. Welcome, Kingdom Day Traders student community. And welcome to our YouTube channel as well. Wherever you are watching it from, welcome. This is Technical Tuesday. We do this once a week. And although it's not always available to all our groups, this is usually something we exclusively give to our students. We are opening up shop a little bit for the next coming weeks so that you can get to see what we kind of do. Now, this is usually an extension of what students get on a weekend, which is the weekly outlook done by Coach Clayton. So I'm going to be covering the same pairs or the same instruments that he looked at. And we're going to look at it from my perspective today as well. As the week develops, more information is given. So when Monday's done, Tuesday is practically done on the charts as well. So we've got more information. Now we can have a look at what the charts has done, and we can incorporate that overall. So welcome to everyone that has joined me thus far. Hello, Teresa. Hello, Elith. Welcome, Jill. Welcome, Edward. Welcome, everyone. Please, if I can't see your name or you haven't given StreamYard access yet to your Facebook, please do so. That way I can shout you out on the actual call. So let everyone know we're live. I'm going to be looking at a couple of instruments today. Whether you trade stocks, forex, options, whatever the instrument it is that you trade, futures as well, what we teach at the Academy works across all platforms. So I'm going to be looking at Euro USD today. I'm going to be looking at Apple today. I'm going to be looking at the dollar index today, and I might even, if I have chance, hi Darius, I'll also look at the NASDAQ. So we're going to cover quite a few today, right? So let everybody know I'm live. We'll be back live in 1 minute, and then we're going to go over the charts. We're going to get straight to the point today, just cover what's going on in the market, some high impact news week this week. So there's money to be made, right? If you want to make money, put a 7 in the chat. Let me know that you want to make money this week, right? Put your 7s where your mouth is, right? Put your 7 in the chat. I'll see you guys in 1 minute. See you guys soon. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Welcome back. Let me see who's just joined us now. Welcome, Carl. Welcome, good-looking Charger. Mr. Ice Money himself. Welcome everyone else. If you haven't yet dropped your name in the chat, please do so that I know who's live with me today. Welcome all 19 of you. If you're new to the Connect Trade and Grow group, this is what we do. We teach trading as a whole, and we cover the principles of mindset, multiplication, and management. What I'm going to do today is go over some of the charts that were sent out in the weekly outlook. So, if you are a student of ours, please go and have a look at your back end and look at the weekly outlook that was sent out by Coach Clayton at the top of the week. I'm going to cover some of the same things. And if this time I'll cover one extra, which will be the NAS, because I know that that's a fan favorite. Just a reminder to everyone, principles taught here or expressed here works across the board in any other instrument as well. So what you learn here works for anything, options, forex, futures, whatever. Now, we are going to be doing something soon for people who are new to this group, and we're going to need you to comment so that we can get in touch with you. This is how we typically get in touch with people. Once you comment on one of our streams or you join the group new, we tag you in the welcome post. So please go and have a look at the welcome post, right? If you haven't seen the welcome post yet, then after that, if you express any sort of interest in any of the things that we do, what we'll do is we'll have one of our admin team reach out to you via the chat. So have a look. If you've joined this group recently, go and have a look at your messenger, because it's likely you got a message from one of us. And that message is simply to help you and to understand where you're at in your trading career as a whole, right? So please check your messenger. And then on top of that as well, if you want to get in touch or sit down with a coach, or even just want to be invited to an open house class, right? So that you can come and see what we actually do on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, then drop your name in the chat and say invite, right? I want to be invited. Just say invite me, right? You want to be invited, say invite me, hashtag invite me. And once you've done that, one of our admin team will reach out to you via messenger and in the chat as well, and we will get on with you and actually take it from there. Okay? So, welcome full. So, students, go on your back end and go and have a look at the weekly outlook done by Coach Clayton. I am going to extend on that concept right now. So let's talk about it. First things first, let's have a look at the DXY, the dollar index. Now, I've still got some old drawings on the chart here, which is good because it gives us a perspective of the last thing I did in this group. And I spoke about where I think price will be going. Now, we did dip a little lower, and I'm going to explain this in the context of EU as well. I was looking for a move from around about this little green area over here. We dipped slightly lower. As you can see, that was my arrow over there. We dipped slightly lower than that, and now we're pushing up. At this point, I'm still expecting higher pricing. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I actually don't want to see the dollar index go down, because I'm concerned what that's going to mean for the economy as a whole. I don't want to see NAS go down. I don't want to see any of those things down. But what I don't want to see doesn't really matter, right? It's what the chart will do. So at the moment, as I'm looking at it, I'm seeing that price is broken down. Okay. And I'm looking to see up in here whether or not we have a good zone to hold price. And currently, to me, that's not a good zone, right? We've been there, we've been chopping sideways for a while, and we've got some equal highs over here, right? Which I call money spots. When I say equal, I mean relatively equal, right? They don't have to be exactly equal. So I'm going to be waiting to see, but essentially this is what I'm seeing happening. Price come down, go up, come down, go around here for a bit, and then go higher up. There is a draw to the upside. Let me show you what I'm talking about. On the upside, there's this gap, a bit of refinement on the actual weekly that's drawing price into that area. So my next upside target for the dollar will be this area over here, 108,000, right? 108 is the number, and anything above that into that little area. Now that's also a quarters theory number. And once we hit that number, we should see some reaction. So technically speaking, I am looking for the dollar to close higher this week. Now, in an ideal situation, today would have printed to me the low of the week. So hopefully this is. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Low. Low of the week, right? At the moment, I'm thinking that's going to be the low of the week. Let's have a look at how price action looks. You see this is a massive, right? Massive imbalance over here. Now we might still have some corrective waves inside here, but I'm looking for some upside at the moment until proven differently. For me, this is all one massive zone. Look at this. Leg in, leg out. One big zone. I am not seeing that whole price up. Right? Even there, we've got some more trend line liquidity. As you guys know, I trade towards that. I trade towards it as a target. Welcome to all 24 people who are on with me today. Please drop your name in the chat so I know who you are. Right? Absolutely, Charger. Absolutely. All right, I'm seeing massive moves to the upside. We've got dual gaps over here. We've got imbalances over here. To me, there is some upside. Now, what's the difference, though, between what we saw over here? Why did this one hold and drop down? We had a better zone, right? We had a better zone. Now, if you're a student, all you can do is go into the odd and answers class and go and have a look at that, and you then say to yourself, qualifying this particular zone, it's not going to be a good zone. You would be expecting it to go through. But if you're new here and you are new to Connect, Trade, and Grow Group, then you're just learning as we go along, right? So I'm looking to take out this. In fact, I see a trend line even here. There we go. It's 3 touches. For your notes, oftentimes the 4th touch breaks through, right? So I'm looking to go all the way there over a period of time, but let's for now just say we're going to try and get higher than that. Okay, so that's my projection on DXY. In an ideal situation, the low of the week would have been printed today, right? If that's the low of the week today, then we'll see better upside on the DXY. So let's go look at another one. Let's go look at Euro USD. Let me know in the chat if you're finding some value in this, right? And also, by the way, we are on the call here. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat as well, and I will aim to answer them, obviously, in a timely manner. Welcome, Papa J. Right? Let me know in the chat as well, but let me know if you're getting some value. Okay, awesome. Let's check Euro USD. What do we have? No, it's a chart with some markups on. Let's go to a clean one. Okay. Now, the Euro USD is the inverse of the dollar index. And oftentimes they are moving opposite to one another with high level of precision. This one's slightly trickier at the moment, be honest. Right? I do see that we've come into a weekly zone over here, so weekly. Of course, you know what I'm drawing on there. Drop, raise, drop. Right? I see we've come into this weekly zone. I also see that we've cleared out some liquidity above the highs over there. Right? Thank you, Dario. Thank you, thank you. Now, if you're only looking at the daily, your expectation should be this. I'll show you. Right. But here's the issue. We now know that we've hit a weekly zone, right? And since we've hit that weekly zone, there's also the possibility we might see some downside here. Again, what would make this more probable is if Tuesday is the high of the week. right? Days of the week matter. Now, let's look at what we're also seeing over here, right? We're also seeing some trend lines over here. Okay. Slight difference in this one. Over here, there's a good zone. Or is there a good zone? This is why it's so important for you guys to actually recognize your zones, because technically that's the leg in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the zone, and that's the leg out. Meaning, it's not as good as it looks. Now, how can you know that? Well, one of the things you can do is you can actually go down a time frame and look at it on other time frames and say, oh, you know what? This is all inside of each other. If this is a bad one and we get below this, which, by the way, there's some more trend line over here, and I like to target that trend line, right? If we get below this, we are likely to see more prolonged downside. Look at this strong drop and turnaround here at this particular area, right? Okay. So normally internal to external, yes, but a higher time frame zone has been hit, which means one of the lower time frame ones has to go. Even a weekly high has been cleared out here. It's going to look to at least, in my opinion, at a minimum, take out this area over here. Right? How's it going to do that? Tomorrow, probably in London, we go up, come down, New York down again, something like that. Where would we likely do that from? Let's check. There was a daily. We've gone underneath this over here. Let me see. Let me check something quick. Okay. So we are likely to move up into and truth be told, we can go just above these highs, and it's all going to be session dependent. Write this down for session dependence. Give me a 7 in the chat if you're finding some value. I need to know. Otherwise, I can't continue. Right? Let me know if you're finding some value. Ask questions as well. Ask questions, you have them. I'm here to answer your questions as well, right? Okay, so we could go as, and this is why it's session dependent, asking yourself where you are in that session. We could go over here, right? In London, just above that high, break down, come all the way down. I think we are likely to see a move slightly higher than that. If I should venture a guess, I'm going to say possibly up into, I don't actually want to see it go that high, but we'll see. Possibly up into that move over there and see further downside. So either just above here, right? And that will be session dependent. Thank you for all the 7s. Session dependent. It's so important that you trade in that session, either just above there or possibly all the way up to there, and then a further drop down would be my speculation on this particular chart as to what's going to happen. Now, as you guys know, if you've been a student of mine for a while, I trade all the time frame sets. And you got to get used to doing that if you want to go and see beyond the one that you are on. Now, if you have been trading daily, let me show you this. Daily prior to this, you were correct, it was external to internal to external to internal. Multiple trading opportunities there, but now we've hit something much higher. And not only do we hit something much higher, but what's left behind for us, right, which is this, is not a good zone. And so the expectation should be likely we're going to see lower price action from that point onwards. Okay, on to the next one. Let's look at Apple. Apple. Oh, I still got some markings on Apple as well. Okay, let's go up to the higher time frame. Let's see what we can see over here. Oops, using the wrong tool. Okay, we're in a range over here. Premium and discount on the monthly. I would, as I'm seeing from my drawings over here, I would likely see a move down to this number over here on Apple. I think I've been calling this for weeks actually. 160.97. 160.97 or thereabout. Let me correct that quickly and make it accurate. Okay, 161. Let's round it off. 161 for Apple. Right? 161 for Apple. Why? What's the logic behind it? Number one, we've broken out over here and we're retracing back into the equilibrium of that range. Let me darken that slightly. Into the equilibrium of that range. We've had a previous attempt to go up, but we just dropped down again, right? So I'm looking at that. Remember, this is a weekly projection, so it can take a couple of days, it can take a week or more to get there. This is more so about what are you going to do. So what do we have on the weekly time frame? Let's look quickly. We have a breakdown over here, right? We have a retracement back in. We have another breakdown over here. We have a retracement back in. And here's the interesting thing right now is that we don't have the other break. So here's an opportunity for a trade, a shorter term trade until this point over here. How are we going to get there? Let's check. Daily. Okay, interesting. Daily has grabbed liquidity above this, a stop hunt, right? Has given us some internal breaks, a structure break, and 3 candle break over here. So we're definitely projecting and pushing down. Then left behind over here on the daily is 2 things. Number one, it's a drop, base drop, and we have a little gap over here. So both those things nested together, we can cover the high. Suggests that on the 1 hour, see, I'm giving you some really good tips over here. That on the 1 hour, we're going to see price break down out of the 1 hour time frame and then go down lower with an objective. And students, check this out. If we get lower than this point, that's why I have this on. And if you're not a student of ours just yet, you might not know what I'm speaking about at the moment, but have a look at this. Somebody says earnings on the 11th of the 4th. Interesting. So have a look at this. Here's an SVR over here. If we get lower than this, we'll likely push back up into that area and drop down to that number. But short-term objective now is ideally to break down from here. In the absence of a breakdown from here, if we don't see that formation, this will be the next target. But I think we're likely going to see that formation over there, right? Nothing is guaranteed. It's all probabilities based, of course. But my projection would be likely we go up into that area and we find our way down. Let me quickly check. This daily candle's done. This one's moving up. Yep. There's some time for tomorrow to give us some downside momentum to the other side. And we'll see. November the 4th, we'll see. Awesome. Greetings. Welcome, Michelle. We'll see what happens, right? But we wait. It's all a waiting game. Just like this, check this out. I'm going to show you inside of here. There would have been a 1 hour breakdown as well. Let's check on the high. Remember this pattern? Look at this pattern. Let me show you something. Here we go. Boom. We're expecting the same thing to happen inside of there on the 1 hour. Hopefully I'll be able to leave all of these things on my charts and not clear it. And then we can come back to it and see how it played out and see what happened. And remember, everything is dependent on session. Right now we're coming out of all the sessions that matter. So the probability is going down. So try and do it inside of sessions that matter, right? Let's look at NASDAQ. Oh, this is good. We were in class on Monday. We were over here at the bottom, and I still have Monday's class based stuff on, which meant we were looking upside into this little area over here. And so far, it's doing exactly that. If I'm correct, on Monday, yes, I am. This was a weekly low being taken, meaning that if we look inside of here right now, it's going to be a 4-hour projection up to the upside. And it is exactly that, right? Look at this. So a little bit more upside to that area, and then we're going to have to wait and see what happens inside of here, right? Inside of there. Right now, low-hanging fruit is from here into that area. We're going to have to see what happens inside of that zone as time goes on, because ideally, I don't want to see NASDAQ go further down. Honestly, I'd actually like to see it actually come bounce in here, perhaps push down a little bit. But in an ideal situation, I'd like to see it go above that. And I'd like to see it go above that. So two scenarios in the case of NASDAQ at the moment. Price goes up in here and then breaks down, right? But what I'd actually like to see is price go up in here, break down, push higher up, and go over there. But that's me being optimistic. It might not actually happen, right? It might not actually happen. So we'd have to see what will happen. Okay? Now, of course, Apple and NAS and some of the other charts moves in tandem with one another, but we have to look for those days of divergence as well, right? Those days where the markets diverge from one another, and there might be a difference in that. But in an ideal situation, I'd like to see it go up. Maybe not now. Maybe I'm being too optimistic too soon. Maybe we go down first. I'll tell you where I don't want to see it go. On the monthly, right? It could go all for me. It could go all the way till here. So this is my long-term projection. I told you guys on Monday in class as well. My long-term projection on the monthly is over here. But I don't want to see it break down, and this is more than a week now. This is going to be literally months. I really don't want to see it go anywhere close to anything at the bottom over here, because if that happens, the world is in turmoil. For now, either we go and tank from this area down, or we break through and we put in a higher pricing. Now, if anybody tells you that they know exactly what it's going to do, they're lying. The reason they're lying is because there's a bunch of liquidity on both sides of the market. We have to see what the market's going to do. It doesn't mean what you feel is irrelevant. Let me just tell you that. I'd love to see it go up, but that's what I want, right? But what the chart is showing me at the moment is it's going to go down. Okay? And until I see otherwise, there's nothing I can do about it. What it does in here in session is key. We react to what the market is doing. We react to what it shows. That's the important factor. We let the market show us, right? We let the market show us what it's going to do, and then we react to that. Okay? So I've got no questions here. I don't see any questions. Let me check. Correction, 2nd of November. Let me check. Okay, you guys are all good. No questions. Everyone good. So just a quick reminder again to everyone, we are going to be doing an open house soon, where we get to show you, if you're new to this group, you can come and see what we do behind the scenes. If you'll be interested in that, let us know. And one of our admins will get a hold of you via the Facebook Messenger. So let us know. Just say, you know what, just comment here. I'd like to be part of that. and we'll get in contact with you, right? And then also we've got an upcoming boot camp coming up. So if you want to be part of that as well, just drop in the chat and say you want to be part of the boot camp, and we'll reach out to you as well. Somebody says, I think the second scenario is more likely. Were you referring to the downside scenario or the upside scenario? Let me know. At the moment, okay, let me bring some clarity to this. At the moment, the only direction the chart is telling me, right, based on my structure and how I trade, is we need to get up into here, right? And once we get up into there, I need to see what price does. And then even structural wise, from that point of view, it's still telling me there's some more downside. Now, I'm selfish. I don't want to see that downside, right? Mainly because I don't want the markets to tank as a whole and the economy of the world to go haywire. But I'm a trader, so I'll make money on both sides of the market, and so should you. So most likely probability based on what's going on right now on the chart, it's down. However, we do have a 3 drive pattern to the upside with a trend line. If this fails, right, it's going to run that. But we'll see what stocks pulls it down, what stocks hold it up. There's earning reports coming out. There's also just structural and economic news coming out across the board. We've got some interesting times in the world. All of those things are going to affect all the charts. I don't care if it's something happening in Israel, if it's something happening in the US. Those things are going to affect all the charts as a whole. So we need to remain vigilant. At the moment, I am not being a swing trader. I'm just being an intraday trader, right? Because here's the problem with being a swing trader is that you're exposing yourself to open market gap risk. In other words, any given time, any morning, over the weekend or something like that, the market can gap up in either direction and you can be in trouble. So somebody says, count me in, include me, Chadwin. So one of our admins will reach out to you once they see your name in the chat there as well, right? They'll reach out to you. So please have a look in your messenger as well. If anybody else wants to be included in some of the epic things we're going to be doing real soon, please let us know. Now, this is not for existing students. You guys have the best of the best of the best already, and I've got some more good stuff coming for you. But for newbies in this group, we want to serve you as well. So please let us know. Count me in, include me. I want in, says somebody. You can also say that as well. Always awesome review of the charts. Thank you, everyone. That's it for today. Those are the charts I wanted to cover. NAS is covered. The dollar is covered. Euro USD is covered. And what else we look at? We looked at Apple as well. Now, all that remains is you work on your mindset, right? Read some Mark Douglas quotes yesterday in class, and a lot of them centered around that if you really want to be an exceptional professional trader, then the solutions are all in your mind. So let's get those solutions active, work on it. As Coach Brian, myself, and Coach Cindy, Coach Clayton, and everyone on the team always says, mindset, multiplication, and management is key. All right, thank you all for hanging out with me today. I think there was 38 minutes of goodness. I always feel good. Again, regularly, this is the time we show up. Mark your calendars. Thank you, Jill. Make sure you show up. Don't wait for us to tag you. Don't wait for us to send you an email. Show up in the group. Look at the timestamps that we regularly go live. We go live the same time every week. Join us on these streams, right? You might just learn something in the process. Thank you, everybody. Have a blessed and phenomenal day further. And remember, when trading, your attempt should be to keep things simpler, better, and faster. Connect, trade, and go. It's been Coach Chadwin. I am out. You guys be blessed.